Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Okay, I believe my audio's a little quiet. Hello, hello. So we're gonna do this. Hello. Okay. Okay, I believe my audio's a little quiet. Hello, hello. So we're gonna do this. Hello. Okay, that's good enough for now. A little quiet. So we're gonna do this. Okay, that's good enough for now. A little quiet. Alright. Yeah, so I just want to stream. I've been tinkering around with this game, Mineclonia. It's basically Minecraft. It was developed for a long time to be like source available by a bunch of hobbyists. And it's written to use a game engine called Luanti, which has like a lot of similar games. And Luanti, as well as Mineclonia itself, is pretty easy to mod. I myself have like just edited, a lot of the configurations from base, like it's basically the same as Minecraft, to change the biomes a little bit, make some minor tweaks here and there to the gameplay. And this is a hobby project for me where I just want to play the game because I love, Minecraft, and tweak it and see what we can do in this game. So, I accidentally clicked into this world. This is just a flat world. There's creative mode, there's survival mode, all the blocks that exist, or nearly all of them that exist in modern Minecraft. Missing some of like the latest updates, and the textures are slightly different, but closely adhere to the base game. So, for example, here is stone brick stairs, right? And the grass texture, pumpkin, the grass texture changes when you go to the next biome. There's all the various like entities, sheep, animals, and mobs, skeletons, zombies, etc. So yeah, super fun. I'm going to make a new world here. And the cool thing is, right, this is all, very accessible, right, to play the game, mod the game, add stuff, delete stuff. So we're gonna call this 25, 12, 20. Hold on. Yeah. Hello. Hi, Ma. Okay. Pardon that, but it is 12:21 now. And this is a new world. Alright, let's play the game. In survival. And then as for the streaming part, like why I'm streaming this, I just wanted to try it. I've streamed before on like different accounts. Literally like probably five times. And I've consumed a lot of streams growing up. I've always been fond of the idea. So here we go. Cool. I can't see obviously viewer count or anything. I don't expect anybody to watch this. it's really more for myself. So, I mean, let's look around, right? We're in a mesa biome, which is pretty interesting. I have, like, quickly played on this seed before, but nothing crazy. Just to make sure it's, like, I don't know, not boring. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we have some iron already. And let us get some planks. I guess this is gonna be pretty slow. Let's go find a tree. I see a tree right there. That's great. There's a little alcove there. But yeah, let's get this wood. And that is, so I'm not super familiar with Minecraft, like modern biomes and the modern game in general, but I believe that's like acacia or something. Okay, and we might struggle to get up this hill too. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's another weird thing is like I'm probably speaking softer than I should be. Oh my goodness. How are we gonna get up there? Okay, and my hunger is slowly going down. I know there's fish in the game now. Okay, there's cherry biome there. Okay, there's a tree there. Perfect. Tree there. My hunger is slowly going down. Pick up these seeds. So yeah, when the world like spawns in, all the water starts to flow down. Alright, so we finally are gonna get our first wood. Again, I'm kind of a noob here. A bit. Though I have played in the last like week. Like this version of the game specifically. Getting wood. Alright. 5 pieces. 6 pieces. And I guess that's my character. We're gonna do this. Right, so it's literally the same as Minecraft. Yeah, I've always been, really fond of this game. I just think it's a great game. Yeah, I'll talk about myself a little bit. I am an engineer, recent grad. And I've always been into, like, education. A little bit. I've done stuff to like develop curriculum and tutor, stuff like that. And part of the reason why I wanted to start like modding the game and developing a version of this game is I think this like game is super good for kids to play. Just to like express their creativity. It's like a free Lego set, right? But I think it's just like it's more affordable and more expressive in a lot of ways, for a kid to just like use as their playground. And yeah, I'm interested in this platform specifically, like this project, for the purpose of like letting the kids of 2020 like play this game. It has like kind of cultural historical value. It's the biggest game of like my generation. But I think just like the design of it itself is super good for kids. Okay, so one thing we have to pay attention to is nighttime. This is a cool place to build too, a little bit, right? Like, yeah, so one thing with building in this game, I feel, is it's easy to build when you have natural barriers as like a kind of creative constraint. So I'm not one to like terraform too much, maybe clean this up eventually, but once you like have this natural cutout here. This will probably be where I put my first home in. So it's noon, right? We're preparing for night. We have a little stone. We'll probably get a furnace, a crafting table. Yeah, luckily I found the 3 iron, right? So that kind of makes this playthrough a little bit weird, like unnaturally accelerated. I'll take one more layer, and I'll need a torch, and I'll need food. There were sheep there. I didn't kill them. I'd rather I would rather use shears like tomorrow if I get some iron. So what do I need? I want some coal and some food. Okay, can I get food in here? I don't have a fishing rod, but now you can just punch. Oh, thank goodness, there's coal here too. Got some coal right here. There's actually a good amount of stuff right here. Okay. This one, I mean, we'll just cover this in so it's not ugly forever. Because that's the kind of thing that you just forget about. And then this as well. More iron. So this will be shears for tomorrow. And get some air. Yeah, my mechanics are pretty toast on this, but that's okay. Okay, I don't see any food, so that's pretty rough. I have enough cobble to make a furnace, of course. I'll make 2 furnaces, a torch. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. So that didn't despawn either. Yes, I'm interested in just using these playthroughs to like start to get creative about like what could be added to this game, and maintaining like a personal kind of copy of the game, which will be super cool. So yeah, so I've already made some changes, right? I've already made the biomes smaller than in modern. I think closer to like how the game was years ago when I had first played it. Just because I feel the game is not walkable. Specifically in the map gen, there's something called spread, which is set as 1,000 out of 1,000, or set at 1,000 cubed, basically in modern. And in the like base version of this game, there's a skeleton there. And I changed that to 768. As per a reference that I found for either beta or like some other kind of mod. And that just feels much better, right? Like this is walkable. It just reduces the walk you'd have to make in a lot of cases to get to the next biome by 30% or 25% or so. Okay, we have one of these. I wanted to make a torch. Okay. And we'll do this. We'll turn the rest of these into torches. We have enough food for today. And so I don't lose it. Yeah, this will make sure I don't lose where I am right now. Cool, I have food. No eating animation either. Alright, well, I am back. So, yeah, I don't even remember what I was talking about before. But, we have food. It is now nighttime. We should also cook this. I don't know how much is needed. But that would be shears. Oh, snap. Okay, this is another thing I don't like. It makes 3. Why does it make 3? I don't know. Can we burn this? Nice. Okay, this is shears for tomorrow. What is shears? This, right? This is shears for tomorrow. I'll make a double chest for tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, just with some of the stuff we don't need. Alright. Okay, we might, just for some fun, try to battle these people. Okay, let's light this place up a little bit. Alright. Let's go. I also just want, so I can find my way back. Alright, yeah, so there's a skeleton. Oh, the skeleton has a shovel. So they didn't drop. There's skeletons there, there's creepers here. I don't want to grief my own area now, so let's go here. There's pumpkins here. We can make a farm here. Yeah, skeletons, right? I really missed. Okay, we have nearly full health. Okay, what we're gonna do is move this here, just so I have it too. Oh, snap. Oh, snap, this might be bad. I'm playing so scared. This is a kid's game. Let me walk in. Okay, yeah, this game's easy. So another thing is there's no use for rotten flesh, which is unfortunate. Yeah, so there's a little creative process in just thinking oh, what do I think could enhance the gameplay? Oh my gosh, that was me flying. Right? Oh my gosh. I'm dead. Oh my gosh, I'm dead. Dude. Okay, where do I have to go? What is this? Okay. Okay, I'm over there. What is that? But yeah, there's a little creative process in terms of thinking what addition might be good for this game. So, I think a lot can be done through just tweaking, older, somewhat neglected features. Ooh, creepers. So one example of this for me. Ooh, what is my stuff? Okay, here's my stuff. Grab all my stuff. Oh my gosh, man, I'm so bad. Okay, one example of this for me is tweaking like oh my gosh, bro. I might be cooked. But yeah, one example of this for me might be, for example, tweaking okay, here. So let's get this. Dang, bro. Let's just go home. Let's just go home. Alright, I have everything. Let's go home. Dang, how do I go home now? Alright, let me get this actually. I know it's risky, but let me just get this. I think I just go backwards from where I'm facing now and I go home. I want some of these saplings. For home. Because, so this is something that I never got to play with in original Minecraft. Is this tree here. So this is something that I have to get used to with like streaming is talking and playing / focusing. It might just turn into me playing really, like, badly. But it's also fun. Yeah, this guy can get to me. Alright. Yeah, right, I might just end up playing really bad. But that's okay too. So, yeah, it's gonna be a mix of me playing pretty badly and then just like stopping my sentences mid sentence for a while, I think. If I'm to do this for a while. So I got 0 saplings, which really sucks. I hope I'm not doing anything like wrong here. Okay, it's sunrise soon. Dang, how did I get 0 saplings? I think this can also break leaves, right? Yeah. Even faster. Come on, I really need leaves actually. I mean, I really need saplings, otherwise like these just go extinct, right? Oh, okay. Trashes durability though. Here's my sapling. Don't pull up the item. Okay, thank God. Thank God, yo. Like, mainly what I care about in that moment is. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Dude, what was that, dog? I have a bow, right? Okay. creepers, man. I'm just not used to them. I'll talk to that guy in a sec. Okay, so we have 3 saplings total. Oh, this is cool. Podzol. Vines. Okay. Okay, so I can't really get an emerald unless I do this. I think I'm gonna have to sit this one out, but it's very cool. So now we're gonna keep harvesting these leaves to hopefully get enough saplings that this can be self-sustaining. I think I just got unlucky on the first one, or like a creeper blew up my stuff or something. We'll see. In general, if trees are not like highly likely to be self-sustaining, then yeah, that needs to be fixed, I think. Because I mean, yeah, I got no saplings from that again, which sucks. So okay, yeah, potentially increasing the I mean, I guess we got 2. I'm just not able to see it real time. I might need to increase the sapling drop rate. Otherwise, let's do this. It also drops a bunch of sticks, which is cool. We'll get this, we'll chop the trees down. Let's organize everything. Okay, and we will do another sword for these leaves. Oh yeah, so another thing I did was make gold tools slightly more durable. At least just in the right direction. I think they would need to be more durable to be better than iron, but it still might be worth it. I also made it so that they can mine the same things that iron can. So there's like a mining level, so for things like, I think even diamond, like in vanilla, you can't actually mine diamond ore with gold or something crazy like that, which I think just doesn't make sense. And it's not a sense thing, also just don't think it makes for good gameplay, because right now gold does not feel like a real like step forward in progression, even though it has like slightly higher rarity and doesn't spawn, especially at the surface, like as much. So you get this like, there's like you kind of expect, at least, oh my gosh, I feel like you expect the deeper you go, the more reward, the more risk, and the more reward you'll take on. And that just isn't really true in the case of gold. So yeah, okay, so now I have enough, I think, to go home, replant and go home. Even the saplings look nice, and the wood looks nice. There's like enough contrast and value between the pink and the dark pink. Okay, cool. Yeah, so 4 of those, low-key, like, you probably should get a 5th. So let's do that. Okay, yeah, I know this is super boring, but the eventual goal is, this is a farmable building block that I think looks really nice. Even the leaves as building blocks are pretty cool. I like bright colors in general. I also don't know how rare this biome is. So that's another thing I did was I tweaked the map generation like values a little bit so that things like bamboo forest would be slightly more common. But like not by much at all. But let's start working towards the bed here too. On the way back. We replant all these. Let's head back over. Don't have any food. We have bread, I guess. If we craft it. There's no sheep. Over here, there's a ravine. There's a cave there, which I think will be how I start to get everything that like all the ores and stuff that I need. Sugarcane here too. We really need food though. And there's animals over there I didn't kill. So I'm not a huge fan of like farming animals, even into the late game. So that's another thing that I'd want to check, or like maybe design some gameplay changes around, is how can farming be made super viable into the late game, right? Potentially without golden carrots too. There is a successful mod I know of. Well, now I've looked into a lot of these things because of like, you know, just interest in the project in general. Started looking into similar projects. Oh, I'm dead. I am not dead. I might have to kill this cow. Oh my gosh. There's a zombie in here, I'm dead. Nope. Okay. So yeah, the most successful mods, that's my understanding, is Create, which is a mod that, like, it's like half like the old like industrial mods with like electricity and all this crazy stuff, and it's half like, okay, maybe there's some fish now too. Okay, nice. Oh man, I suck. Oh. So an axe can't hit these. That's another thing that's I think is really weird. But, or maybe, you know, it's just an issue with the game. I think this water gem is also weird, but I don't think you can correct for that in a really easy way. Alright, this is a good fishing spot. We can make this into like a nice fishing kind of build. Okay. So we have enough, I think, to regen, and then we'll need more food again. And we don't have a bed again. That's okay though. We're gonna do this, and this. Okay. What can this be used for? A sword? So I gotta stop using the swords on leaves, because that just shreds it. let's start mining. That is the thing to do. Okay, we need coal, low-key. Let's do this. I think you can do like this, right? And then that'll be like a stack of torches. Put these away. I don't want to bring either of these, really. And this away too. You can just craft these away. This. Oh wait, we also have this. We have some seeds there too. Yeah, bread is good. Okay. 8, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Just a little bit of space. And then we'll start mining down. So another thing, this has a mini map. I don't know if this is in the base game. But yeah. Is this 2 down? I accidentally messed it up. Okay, I don't need that either. So let me put these away. And this is done. So we have this. Boom. Alright. Very nice. Okay. Yeah. Alright, now this is also boring. I think what we'll do is just focus on this one. So yeah, another thing I did was change up the map generation, the ore generation logic slightly without touching the balance of the game. But I made probably overall slightly faster, like 5% faster progression. But you probably have to go like a little deeper overall. I don't know. I should go caving is what I should do instead of this. But I don't know. This is also like part of the experience, right? Is taking down. So we have some coal when we need it. These blocks. So this is interesting. You can go function this, right? So it shows them a -20. I ended up defining different strata, like by Y level, in terms of how I'm like planning to like these should be recurring for like how the game can be designed going forward. But I believe the strata are there's a transition to like a precious ore strata at 48, which is where like gold outside of mesa biome starts spawning for the most part, and lapis and redstone and stuff like that. And above that it's largely just coal, iron, and copper. And then at 64 at 64 transitions to deep slate, which is another important transition because your mining speed kind of becomes important that transition. Ooh. And yeah, I imagine this is like pretty unlistenable. Me like continuing to pause and stop and think and just talk as I play and not think about it. But to start over, yeah, so 0 is sea level, minus 48 is precious transition, minus 64 is deep slate transition, and I believe minus 112 is what I consider abyssal. This is like really close to vanilla. Though in vanilla, or at least in my test vanilla, all the ore transitions are like explicitly defined and not grouped together. So, and there's no abyssal transition. So some things that are visible that I've added are an abyssal. Okay, so here's deep slate. Yeah, here's a deep slate blob. So the way these things spawn is there's like 33 or like 58 of these in like blobs. So they're like roughly spherical blobs. And then in this whole zone from 48 to 64 and then 64 below 64, below negative 64, there's this higher frequency of ore spawns in general that occur, and this I believe is tough. So yeah, now we're pretty deep, and you know, things look different than up here, right? So whereas before, you know, you have roughly 48 blocks of just like, you know, whatever, it's just stone, coal, copper, iron. You have these kinds of blobs, then you get just more stuff, right? So I think it keeps it interesting, something that vanilla did well to introduce, and we have it in this game, Mineclonia, and this is a maintained version of Mineclonia, which has some small personal edits, which I personally play on, and I plan to continue to just like tinker with, because it's super fun and super accessible. So yeah, so one thing I added was biome specific ore spawns, usually in perfect, we hit a cave. Usually in the category of like larger rare veins. Okay. Okay. It's like super big, like very rare veins, so you can actually notice when you run into these kinds of things. I touched up the spawn rate of lapis, I believe, like probably 10%. Because it is like one of the few ores in the game, and I feel like it's just very rare, and it has a single use that is not it's not even that like thematically strong.